I've cut off the Ric Racs. You want to, this portion of the leaf or stem is flimsier than down here. These can propagate on less. These usually propagate with a little bit more. So I'm gonna cut it about right there. And then I have two pieces. This one already has a bottom stick piece that'll go in. This one's gonna be harder to put into soil because of the flat. So usually what I do is I cut up to that leaf like that, and I make a little stick. I've got to let these dry out at least overnight, probably no more than a day or two. And then what I like to do is dip them into rooting hormone and put them straight into dry soil. My equal ratio cactus soil, perlite, and orchid bark. So what I'm gonna do is go down, this one I'm gonna go ahead and cut. This one is plenty good. There's a stem on it, so I'm just gonna leave it. This one's kind of growing funky, so these are aerial roots that you see on there. Oop, there we go. I'm just gonna cut those off. You can leave them, but I like to cut them off. And then there is a spot, a growth spot right here that would be a good place to cut this plant. So I'm gonna cut it. There's enough stem there. I don't have to cut the sides. This one, believe it or not, will grow, should grow. There's another weird one. This portion probably will grow. See the roots there? You can leave those. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut them off. These are so easy to propagate that I don't worry about those. Cut. Make sure you know what side is down. You can't plant these upside down, they won't root. So I'm gonna cut this one about here and about here. Go ahead and make your cuts. It's okay if it's not a full leaf, like that. It makes them easier to plant up and they'll root faster. This one I'm gonna leave this because that'll be easily planted in soil. Here's this one, grew kind of crazy, so I'm gonna cut it right here. And this one will go straight into soil, no problem. This one, on the other hand, is gonna have a hard time, so we're gonna cut just a little bit. Looks like a Christmas tree. All right, I'm gonna just take this side off like that. I'm going to cut. Like that, make little Christmas trees out of them. That one should be all right. I'm not gonna touch that one. This one should be okay. I don't like how long it is because I don't know that the whole plant will be saved. So I'm gonna put it down. I'm gonna cut it right there and plant that portion like that. And then, just gonna cut that one all the way off like that. I'm gonna cut this one in half. I think this is the heucheria or heucheri. But again, I'm just going to make little Christmas trees. Also, it helps remind you of what side is down. If you get lost though, you can tell by the way that they curve. You can always compare it to another one. So if you forget which side is up, then take one that you know is right side up and just make sure that the wavy lines match. I'm gonna cut this one here, here, like that, and like that. You want to be sure to leave some of the flesh on there. Don't cut too close to the middle seam there, because that's what regenerates growth. So anyway, that's how you do Ric Rac. Thanks. All right, for the Ric Rac, since it likes to vine out, I got a hanging basket. I have drilled holes. This is an orchid pot, and I drilled holes and put a wire hanger on it. So that's what I love to do with these orchid pots. I don't want the soil to run out of this, so I've got some landscape fabric and I'm going to put it down to where it covers all the holes, but it will still drain. It's a good way to use orchid pots. And this is my Hoya and other epiphyte soil. It's a 1:1:1 ratio of cactus soil, perlite, and orchid bark. So we're going to get it all in here, and we're going to fill it quite full because we're just putting cuttings in the soil, so we're not having to do any roots. So basically what you do is you take your stem part that we cut off, kind of dab it in some rooting hormone. You don't have to do the rooting hormone, but I find it really does help. And you're just gonna plop it in. Stick, plop, stick, plop. It's real easy the way that we cut these because we don't have to shift around soil. We just stick them in, and make sure you stick them right side up so they won't root upside down. But sometimes getting a little stick to help make the holes is a good idea. But I do pack them in here. Expect to lose some, not all of them will take. And like this one's a little flimsy, so I'm gonna help it out by sticking into the soil because I don't want them to break. I'm just dipping the very tip right there. It's so hot. These normally can stay out up to a week, but I needed to go ahead and do them after 4 or 5 days. I can't remember exactly when I took them out, but I started to look at them and they need to get into the soil. I'm hoping I wasn't too late with it. And these are a little bit flimsier, so I'm just gonna do them like that. All right, now for the tops, they are also calloused over, so I'm not too worried about that. But if they weren't, I would put some cinnamon on them, but I think we're gonna be all right. Okay, I'm just gonna give it a light watering it only to about this far, about an inch, inch and a half, and I'm gonna put it in the shade under an awning for about 2 weeks. Thanks.